These 4 items were in a 50-cent bin. I thought these pliers looked interesting. There's some markings here, but I can't make them out. Let me clean that up right there. There, that's better. Utica, Drop Forge and Tool Corp. Alloy steel, number 531. I started off by disassembling the pliers. Here's a look at the parts. I went over them quickly with the wire wheel to knock off most of the rust before soaking them in evaporust. Here's the parts after the wire wheel. It seemed like they might have had a blued finish. Here's the parts after evaporust, another round on the wire wheel. The jaws both look really good, and the handles look really good. The markings up here are clear. However, there's markings down here. I believe it says Utica, New York, made in USA. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep those. And on this one, there's markings. Looks like someone stamped an F, an L, and maybe a K for their initials. Doubt I'll save those. I started out with a 120 grit belt on my 1x30 machine. I was careful not to remove too much metal where the markings were. Okay, here's the pliers after the 120 grit belt. There's still a lot of pitting I'm going to have to live with. Most of the markings survived. This curve right here, I couldn't get with the sanding belt really good. So I'm going to go after it with a sanding drum, my Dremel.
Then I went over the parts with the coarse and medium conditioning belts. I find that the conditioning belts do a better job on curved areas like the insides of the handles.
Now here they are after the coarse conditioning belt. Starting to look a little better. Now let's move on to the medium conditioning belt. Here's the pliers after the red medium conditioning belt. I like to use the red belt and soften all the edges.
These Utica number 531 Super Grip Parrot head pliers were in pretty bad shape when I found them at the flea market. So what do you think? Given the pitting, I opted for a blued finish. I used Brownell's Oxbow Blue. I gave the pliers 3 coats, buffing with superfine steel wool between coats. According to Alloy Artifacts, the part number and alloy steel markings, along with the squared-off diamond checkering on the handles, date these pliers from the early 1930s to about 1943. I couldn't find my pliers in catalogs from that period, but I found the number 531 model in a 1956 catalog. By then they were marked 531-8 without the forged steel. Alloy Artifacts has a good photo of the more modern markings.
Alright, let's give these Super Grip Parrot head pliers a test drive. This is a 1/2 inch nylock hex nut. I think I want to go to the medium setting on this. Yeah, that seems about right. The jaws seem to grip the flats pretty well. Let me try taking it off. Okay, let's try something bigger. Okay, this nylock hex nut is 1 1/16 across flats. So I'm going to adjust these all the way out, get a hold of it. Yeah, it's probably about maximum what you'd want to do. Let's see if we can loosen it. And it's doing it. Alright, good. To simulate pipe, I have this smooth section of a 3/8 bolt. I have the pliers adjusted to the minimum setting. Let's see how it grips. Yeah, it's gripping that pretty good. Let me try loosening it. Yeah, so they would work on pipe as well.
These Utica Super Grip Parrot head pliers were fun to clean up. I'm glad I spied them in the 50-cent bin. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.